Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back to another stream. Today we are going to pick up where we left off, and that was building the front end. So up to this point, we've done a lot of work. We've kind of built out our whole back end and a whole bunch of other nice little tasks here. Now we're working on the front end, which we left off with last time. Was looking at something like this. And I've made a few tweaks here, but nothing too crazy, just to kind of improve on some of the things we were talking about last time. Let me see here. So what are we trying to build today? We're trying to continue working from this mockup and finish out the rest, hopefully, rest of this page here. I'm optimistic that we can get through the rest of it, although yes, last time we only got through these two sections here. That's okay. We're kind of going a little slow here, taking our time, having a conversation, and I think that's nice. Awesome. So let's kind of hop back into the code here. I was making a few tweaks this morning and then a little bit after last time, just kind of getting us back to some of those tricky like edge cases that we were running into, and just kind of sorting them out, making everything work on like larger screens and stuff like that. Obviously I've got my dev tools open. Oop, what happened here? I lost my screen. Where'd it go? There we are. Got my dev tools open, have the background open here. And one issue we were running into was this overlay here on touch. And I was trying to think of a elegant solution for that, but the best one that I can think of is we actually changed the color of this link. And the reason I was thinking about doing that is because we've used almost blue, this blue sort of entirely within the design. But this is sort of the primary call to action on this page here, or at least this hero section. And so I was thinking maybe we can make this a little bit more like an orangey kind of color. Let me open up Tailwind just so we can kind of play with it. Docs. Colors. I always look at the Tailwind colors. I think they're super well done. So I was thinking like of trying with an orange, but maybe we do more of like a reddy kind of color. Orange being the complementary color of blue. Not exactly our complementary color because we're not using this blue, and I think these ones are related, but just something. So maybe we'll start with this like 600 and kind of see how that works just off the bat here. Let's see here. Text, orange, and let's just try 600. And we might have to uncheck this one. Nice. Yeah, something like this. It kind of draws the attention. Obviously, we'll fix the hover, but draws the attention of the user, I think, a little bit more. And I think that'll work pretty well here. It looks a little, color contrast might not be exactly what we need. So what happens if we go up to 700? That looks a lot better already. Kind of looks dark, though, relative over here. This is probably going to be a tricky part. So maybe, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of orange, so let's try red. I think it's a little bit more of a font that I kind of align with a color I align with. Also, we had to take into account the personal branding aspects of this as well. It's always important. So let's try this 600 here. Okay, I think that works really nicely and really grabs the user's attention. I don't know. Another thing is, I don't know if we want to make the get in touch a red. That's kind of got some negative connotations to it. That looks pretty good, I would say, on top of this blue here. Let me try green. I'm just trying to think of like the semantic meaning behind what we're presenting, and maybe we can do I don't need that. Maybe we can do a lighter one to make it more in line with the rest of the color palette. Let's see here. Next green, and maybe we'll say 500. Oh, I like that a lot more. It still stands out. I think it just because of like kind of the Gestalt principles, it's dissimilar. So it kind of stands out. Do we see it? All right, so it's not really showing up well here. Let's try like 600. It also isn't super good. 700, and now we're starting to get too dark again. That's going to be just kind of I think our challenge for the day, our biggest one. So, okay, so this isn't working exactly how I want it to. Let's go back to this SVG here and see if we can't play with it a little bit more. So what do we have? We have the height to 45. I mean, the other option was kind of writing custom media queries, although it doesn't look like that is going to work out for us either. And maybe just kind of hiding. So we do hide this like right around 10, yeah, where is that? 1024, yeah. And so the other option would be kind of bringing it out around, what's that, 1125, which, you know, we're not necessarily ascribing to the usual media queries. But again, thinking in terms of like progressive enhancement, I don't think this hero section looks bad with just this, with this missing. It's kind of, it has everything I want up here. It's a little bit simpler maybe than we'll have to play with these as well. A little simpler maybe, but I think it kind of works for what we're doing here. Yeah, so maybe we'll try with that and kind of move on. So let me go to my code here. And for this, thinking I might want to add a breakpoint into our Tailwind configuration here. So we go over here, we go to responsive design, adding immediate customized breakpoints, that's what we want, so theme screens. All right, I think this allows us to, we kind of ran into this issue last time, where we were having some issues. Oh, maybe that was why we were having issues. Max width. What was I gonna say? Having some issues like extending versus breaking the default customization, but this is looking pretty promising. So hopefully, where we go. You can kind of roll from here. So screens, and what did we say it was? Like 1125. And so we've got large and XL, which are, I wonder if you can overwrite them. So this is kind of, we're kind of breaking our default convention here. I'm trying to think of a name to kind of fit into here. We could do like a little larger, so like LLG. And that's kind of a little, maybe too cutesy, but for lack of something better, let's just roll with it. I think the hardest part of programming is naming your stuff. This is probably why our max width wasn't working the way it was. We had to have it over here in screens, which is interesting that it wasn't clear in the documentation, or maybe it was, and I was just, oh, never mind. This is for max width breakpoints, not just max width. That makes more sense. Cool. So let me go ahead. I don't think we have to reboot or anything, but now we can play with this a little bit more. So we go back to our welcome here. And where did it go? There's our SVG. Oh, okay, we're doing that actually in, I believe, visitor utilities. Yeah. Oh, we were defining this here. Huh, okay. Well, we're gonna need that breakpoint anyway for some stuff we're doing with the navigation, so that's fine. Where do we go? Header, nav, okay. So text, color gray, text white. And we'll say, this should work here. Doesn't look great here, but I think it'll get the job done for us. All right, let's see how we do. Ooh. Do we break all of our other breakpoints? I hope not. By overwriting, I think that we might have done that. But that looks better. Coming in at 125. Okay. These guys are not stacking the way they're supposed to. So if that's the case, we might as well grab these and we can actually redefine our scale a little bit. Okay. Yeah, sometimes that's a little unclear for the documentation. When are you overwriting or when are you extending? Maybe we can do this. Maybe, hang on, before we get too crazy here. I'm gonna get rid of that for a second. put this over here into extend. All right, I think that fixed it for us. So we need to use that extend when we're adding, and then we can skip it when we don't need to, when we're like re-overwriting default styles. And boom, that's perfect. It looks pretty good to me. Nice. Alrighty. Now let's keep on keeping on here. Okay, so now we can keep rolling. I think this section is looking pretty good. So what's our next kind of section here? We just kind of have this nice H2, I would say here, but a larger one. Can I grab this? That's okay. I think I can grab it from up here. I think it's just the same line, but larger. Cool. So I don't think this needs, maybe we'll do a section about the H2 here, but it will have all of this in here. I was listening to an interesting podcast with the Full Stack Radio with Adam Wathan, and I forget his guest's name. It's something Gustafsson. That might be his last name. But they were talking about semantic HTML, when you should be using different things like your section and your articles and whatnot. And it seemed like, from my understanding of what they were talking about, we should be using article way more often, because apparently it's not like, I think we commonly think of like article as like a blog post, like a blog article, but in reality what they were explaining was that it's more like a like an article of clothing. That's like the closer metaphor. And so I thought that was super interesting. I love listening. I feel like semantic HTML is something we all kind of take for granted, like, oh yeah, I can do it. And then the people who really know how to do it are phenomenal. So let's see here. I kind of want to grab a lot of the same styling from up here. So let me just grab this. Let's see. How's everyone doing today? I see we've got a few folks watching now. Hope you all are having a great Saturday afternoon. All right, that's too big. Let's shrink this down a little bit more. Let's try like 6. Oh, I guess let me start over there first. It's getting better. Probably down one more. Nice. I think that's pretty close. And we're going to tighten up this line height here. So we have to bring this down to 5. Excuse me. And leading, I believe, and we'll call this snug. Is that what I'm looking for? Let me check. Yeah, line height. Maybe we want tight. Let's try that. Got dog sitting today, so we got some dogs in the background. There we go. I think that's closer to what we want. Pretty close. Nice. So I don't think we have to add much more to that. Let's look on sort of smaller screens. See how it's looking. Nice. That might be something that I don't know. Let's look when we have more content. We might leave that out on smaller screens. I think it's nice at a larger viewpoint, but it's kind of like, well, what's the point on a smaller screen? That's the most important piece of information. We've got this old tab which has where we started from, which is kind of fun. Give that a refresh. Come a long way. Oh, I don't know why that's not getting this. There we go. Had to do a hard refresh. We've got to write some JavaScript to switch these around a little bit. Add a background, that kind of stuff. That'll be fun. Cool. We can keep on rolling now. So what's our next piece? We're going to actually do some work experience here. And this is not in the database, so we're just probably going to hard code this. So let's start with one of these and kind of go from there. And the nice thing is we can technically nest sections, but I think for right now, we'll just kind of leave it. And we'll add a class, and let's do like margin top. We'll do 32 again. Forget, is that like equidistant? It looks, well, there's a little bit more space there than there, so we'll say like 28. And then we're going to have some, probably do another grid structure in here, which is nice. So we're going to have maybe like an H3, we'll say lambda school, and then we'll say H4 UX instructor, and then we'll do like a paragraph. It's probably a better one for like spans like that, but I don't know it off the top of my head. Alrighty. See what we're working with here. Oh, where's my margin? Oh, it probably doesn't exist. 24. Yeah, there we go. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Let's see here. Maybe I can grab this styling here because I think it's pretty similar. Right? That and that look identical. Now, as we start like really identifying some of these patterns here, this is like a really, I think, good smell. Like, okay, maybe it's worth extracting that to its own class. I'm not quite there yet, but maybe pretty soon here we're going to start making some changes like that. All right, what's next? I think that this text is actually the same as well, so let's grab this. Although I don't know if the margin is as severe as it is over there. Let's get rid of that margin. Excuse me. Let's say text base. Actually, let's say small even. Text gray. We'll say like 600. Font light. That might be too small. Oop, got too many screens open here. But closer to what we were talking about. I think it's small because the color is light. Let's try that, and we'll add a little bit of margin top here. There we go. Let's try base and see if that helps. There we go. And I think we had that in italics. If I don't. No, we didn't. Okay. For some reason. I've been using a lot of italics lately, so I think that gets stuck in my head. Nice. I think that looks pretty good. Pretty much what we're... That does look a little grayer than it was before, so maybe we can take a peek. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Nice. So we're going to have a couple of these. And how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Probably didn't need to count. But 4, 5, 6, 7. Could we put this in the database? Sure. Could, but I don't really want to manage it there. Could we put this in like some JSON somewhere? Yeah. Or even in the controller. I've definitely done things like that before. Where it's something like, I don't want to hard code it, but I don't want to have it in the database just yet. You kind of have that intermediary step. That's definitely an option, but for right now, I don't think we're getting too into it. So we'll go ahead and make some sort of a grid here. And we were working with grids a little bit last time, and we were working on some grids like this, like kind of grid utilities. And I'm honestly thinking, oh, that's what happened. We're going to try this real fast just to see if it works. I'm almost ready to kind of say we're no longer doing grid utilities, and we're just going to actually try to do custom grids for all of these, because I'm starting to mess things up. Let's take a look. All right. Well, that looks pretty good. Right? Because now we've kind of got the spacing in between all of them. Oh, we're going to have to play with that. That I don't think is ideal. Let me see here. So we're going to start with grid 1, even, and then medium, grid 2, even, and then large. I don't know, something like this. Grid, we'll say on large, we got a grid 4. Maybe we start with grid 2. Let's see that. I think we can make it work because these are kind of small. Yeah, and then here we'll say grid 3. Pushing it a little bit. I don't like how those are stacking, but you know, only so much we can. So let's see here. We do this. Alrighty. Hey, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. Sorry again for the dogs. They are just happy to be here. Dog sitting this weekend. Maybe we'll get them on the stream here in a minute. Gotta go get them, but they're very cute. They are good boys. Okay, I think this is starting to work. Okay, let's change all this content because obviously the content's going to change some things here. So we've got Lambda School, Launch Shop, which is my consulting company. The founder there. Let me do it this way. Kind of keep things going a little faster. So it's less of me remembering. November 2015. Wow, it's been a long time. That was an aptitude. Media. It's like a walk down memory lane right here. All my old jobs. Ooh, let's see here. Software engineer. That was a good company. Like the people there. We did a lot of cool stuff with like incentivized marketing, which is a world that I didn't even know existed until I joined that team. Which I always think is pretty worthwhile, pretty awesome. So I was the lead UI UX engineer at Metric Loop. Also did the marketing, which was probably too much for one person, but my official job title was lead UI and UX engineer, 2016, May 2017. Alrighty. ISA, which I should spell out, international studies abroad, but who knows if that's going to fit. So let's start here and we'll go back to it. We'll play with it. I think that's the beautiful thing about working on this kind of stuff. You can play with it. 2016, and then Laxseed. This was like before I knew what a UI UX designer was, so I was just a specialist. Which what does that even mean? I was kind of like their fill-in UX designer, which was pretty funny. And RD Global. I was a UI designer and business dev. I'm going to try and write that out, see what happens. Alrighty. May 2014. Boy. Good times. Good times. I was working at both of those companies at the same time because it was the same founders. That was too much. I wouldn't do that again. Okay, let's see how this starts looking. I think it's going to work. Alright, so that's what I was worried about, this kind of truncation here. So how are we going to fix this? I think the easiest thing to do would be to adjust this column gap. Maybe make it 1 rem. Nice. This is why I was like, maybe we start doing custom grids, because it's like we're tweaking all these variables on them. I guess I could theoretically write utilities and be like, here's for each of these, kind of like how we have them in Flex. But that's starting to get a little out there. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but okay. I think I want to go that route. Just because we're getting to the point where these are becoming a little less flexible than I want to. I think this is why they don't have grids in Tailwind Core, because they are like, I think you run into issues like this. So what are we going to call this? Experience. And we'll obviously start with display grid. And then we'll copy a bunch of stuff. We'll come back. All right. Don't think we have grid 1. We just do 2 and 3 and 4. Alrighty. So we're starting like this. And I think we can, let's just kind of start here with like 1, maybe 2. And at media, I want to make sure we're staying consistent now. So I want to, breaking a lot of things. So we go back to our breakpoint guidelines here. There's a way to reference your media queries. In your CSS. I forget where it is. Maybe it's under here. Components and apply. Okay. We're getting closer. Maybe that one. Oh, this is into plugins. I haven't written a plugin in a long time. Let's try this. No. I forget how to do this. Oh well. That's just not ideal though. Go to breakpoints here. Alrighty. I don't want to spend our whole time looking through documentation, but sometimes that's what coding's about. Configuration, maybe it's in here. Important. Let's try and theme. Spacing. That looks good. Overriding the default. Yeah, that's where that extend's coming from. Okay, this looks promising. I don't know if we can do that in our own CSS, so let's try that. Let's see if this is going to work. I don't even know what we'd reference. So we do like theme breakpoints. That doesn't, I don't know if that makes sense. So at this point, I think I'm just going to hard code him. Hey, welcome. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream, to the community here. let's see here, grid template columns, and that's our 1024. And what we're doing here, we're kind of going to 3 at large. Let's go back to breakpoints here. So 1024 and 1280. I might just look into that on my own time, so we don't waste our time here. Alrighty. Not a good spelling day. There we go. Alrighty. Now everything's broken. What's going on? Let's give this a hard refresh. There we go. There we go. That looks pretty good. Nice. Might tweak that one a little bit. Let's see here. I wonder if we just make this a little smaller. That would do it. Or we can go one column here. Maybe that's what we're going to do. There we go here. I believe it is. Ooh. Where did we just say? 768? No, we'll go to 2. No, we'll go to 3. And I actually want to increase the row column gap to like 3 rem here. See how that starts looking. Alrighty. That doesn't look great here. What's going on? Oh. Got my grid. You try center aligning it maybe? Or I can go back to what I had and just make the text a little smaller on smaller screens. Oh boy. Text it 2XL. I think that, let's try it and see what it looks like. How big is that? Large? Oh, I just lost my other monitor. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Ooh. These dongle connections sometimes they just go in and out on me. Got one of those new MacBooks and they drive me crazy. Alrighty. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to add, so I want that line height to be a little tighter. So we'll go ahead and add that to all these as well. I don't know why, the line height seems really large. It could just be the font I'm using. It's really large here. Alrighty, I think that tightens it up nicely. Nice. Let me try making that the full acronym here. We're really pushing it here. Yeah, that's just going to be too big. So we'll go back. What I'd say. Alrighty. This is looking pretty good. Got two other sections here. Oop, where'd it go? Just want to check it one more time. See how it's looking. Brief step there. And it's a lot smaller. Nice. honestly, if it's that small, I'm wondering if we could. Nah, I think we'll just leave it as is. Nice. I think we've got a max width on this. Let me just throw it on my other screen just to make sure. Yeah. I've got a big monitor and I've got this smaller laptop monitor, so sometimes it pays to look at it on a larger screen. Cool. Alright, so we've got that whole section. Oh, we've got this view resume button here. Can't forget that. Very critically important. Where we go? Okay. And right. Oh, no, that's not a thing. Right now, I think we're just gonna do an A tag here, and I'm gonna probably just have this be like a download A tag. We'll come back for that though. So we kind of keep moving on the actual interface. So what are we gonna do here? What do we say? Download resume, something like that, or view resume. I guess download is what we're going to do though. Yeah, we'll say view. Not what I wanted. So we'll go from there. Alrighty. A whole bunch of work here. So we'll do background primary, text white, text. We'll say XL font, bold, rounded. This is why I love working with Tailwinds. Like, you just think what you want it to look like, and it does it for you. Transition small, and we're gonna have to figure out that padding. So let's just say padding, something like this. We get us started, and boom! Like, there's your button. It's amazing. Let's say like 16. Oh, wrong page here. Oh, we might have to make this block. Mm-hmm. Gonna work? Sometimes. I know if we take that block off, where'd it go? The easiest thing to do would be to put it in a div. And then put that margin on top of that. Nice. I think that's what we're going for. Maybe a little bit more padding. And maybe regular instead of bold. Let's try that. No, we'll go back to font bold there. That looks pretty good to me. Nice. That's coming together nicely. And let's just do the hover stuff on it real fast here. We'll hover. SVG primary dark. Nice. Cool. That's coming together really nicely. And let's kind of go to our next section here, which is where things I think are going to get a little trickier. We've got this big SVG. So let me go export that. Kind of go through this process here. Portfolio mockups, that's what we're working on. Nice. So what I actually went in here and kind of refined these SVGs. When we first did them, they were kind of very fast. But now we kind of have it, I think, in a lot better shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this exportable. Switch that to an SVG format. And I think this is more or less the shape we want, so let's export it. And we'll just call this like wave. Something like that. And we can come out of here. And I use this little site Where is it called? Maybe in my code section. SVG OMG, that's what it's called. So I can go ahead and open this up. And what this does is it like optimizes it really nicely. It makes it smaller, takes care of a lot of things, so I really like it. So then you can just, what's this do? I think this just copies it for us. And we're gonna go ahead and put this inside another section. Let's see what happens. Alrighty, there we go. We got our shape on the page. That's pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and make this full width. And I think we have to take those off. SVGs are not my forte. I just haven't had enough exposure to them, but I really like them when they when things start working with them. So I think we take these guys off. And we'll say with full, and hopefully that doesn't break everything. Alrighty, that's a nice big old. Wow, that looks like better than I could have ever dreamed. Oh, a lot of dogs. Got dogs walking behind my house now. Where'd it go? Where did it go? Do I need to have a height on it? Try that. Just disappeared. See, this is part of the fun with SVGs. You run into little things like that. It's like, where is it now? It's hiding. Let me try this. Let me try putting a height on this guy. I'm wondering. There seemed to be something going on with that display literally at the same breakpoint that this is getting applied to, but we haven't put that class on it, which is very confusing. Anyway, let's go make a class for it. We'll call it Wave SVG. We're just doing width. I guess we could apply with full for now. We'll see how it goes. Oop. I was gonna, just for my own sanity, let's make sure nothing is. It's something else. So I'm wondering, that's like 1024 on the view box there. But we're not even getting to that. Trying to see if this did anything. I don't think so. Looks like an issue people have had. This is old. Something's going on with the height here. Boy, this is old. And we're going to do something here. We're going to do in the last year. Okay, maybe I've got to set the width on the container as opposed to the element itself. That would explain a lot. All right, we're going to step closer. Let's see, this header has our other SVG in it. We're not running into similar issues. It's a smaller SVG, but we don't have the same problem. Let's try taking it out of the section entirely and see what happens. I'll try it over here, see if there's still that issue. This is throwing me for a loop. Try to block. Yeah, it's already block level element. We go down to the box model here, and it has a height. I don't think I was going to have it on smaller screens, but this, I would like to have it around 1024 as opposed to it's 1125. Something's going on here. And the odd thing is that's like the other breakpoint. Let me just go do a little sanity check here and just, I'm going to take that off for a second. Not that I think it's going to do anything, but... Aha, so it was doing something. This is... So how is that possible? What is going on here? This is a new one for me. I have not applied that class. Let me try moving that there. And you know what? We're just going to go a little old school here, but that's okay. Oh no, there it goes. But I don't have this class. Do I? Let me try something. I'm just gonna call it shape instead of SVG. I don't know why that would give it this problem, but if I get rid of this entirely, know what we're gonna try is there's something going on with inheritance here that's weird. Yep. This is a whole new sort of bug here. That I have never seen before. It's always good to see a bug. You just have no idea what's going on. All right, let me try this. That seems like an inheritance issue. Oh, let's see here. This could be what's going on. This path here. Is probably, that would be really weird, but see if this is getting those styles from somewhere. Where do you get font primary from? That was my silver bullet. That's what I thought was happening here. That has an ID of A. Ah, that also has an ID of A. So maybe it will change that around. Look at that shape a little bit more. See if there's anything in here. That's probably what's going on. There we go. That was our problem. Boy, learned something today. So be careful with SVG OMG because it will generate that and you have to tweak it. Okay. That makes me feel a lot better because I thought we had some major issues. But no, that makes a lot more sense. Now I'll kind of go back to where we were. Nice. And we don't even need this display inline important anymore. We might hide this. Like here, does it add a lot to the interface? Maybe it adds something. Let's kind of see. Man, it just looks so good here. I'm a little biased, but I like it. Cool. So we got that in there. We got it working. And uh-oh. It's not one thing. All right, let me go to my defs here. Where we go? Yeah, that has the ID of A. Ah, boy. You can't win them all. Alright, let me try commenting this out real fast. it's hero shape. Let's go back to SVG. There we go. That one should resolve itself. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Thought we had a serious issue there, but we don't. We're gonna make it. That looks pretty good. Nice. Very nice. Alrighty. So now we can layer on our writing section, which will be this nice little div here. Or I guess we call this a section as well. We got our section here. I'm starting to use this a lot. Where is this? This PX4 MX8 guy. I think I bet if I search for that, I would find it in a bunch of places. 2 whole places, but I know it's something that I keep running into. So I'm going to actually call this like our wrapper. And apply. Excuse me. I want to use the same thing down here. I think I'm using it in other place. Yeah, that looks like it. And that's the same, it just doesn't have the padding. Exactly, so we're just going to leave that one. The header got a little weird just because of that SVG, so I'm just going to leave it. That looks pretty good. Nice. And actually this section, we might make it a little smaller, but we can do that with the div inside of it. No, I guess I don't have to use a div inside of it, but I'm going to for now. And we are using this H2 more and more. Or this H3 as we've been calling it. So let me just grab that one more time. And when you start, when I've used something twice, I'm like, okay, maybe we'll consider making it more of a its own class. And when we've used something like a whole bunch, like 3 or more times, that's when I'm like, all right, I want to make my refactors now. And we're kind of on that line. MT, and we'll just do the big one, go straight to 64. Background white should have worked. This is the indexing. Like so many things that, oh, it is a Z indexing, but we just, let me figure this out. All right, so we had this, maybe let's say Z10. We had this and Z0. guess the other thing we could do, let me go back to our wave. D0. And what if I say absolute? See if we change the game here a little bit. Writing it's all the way up there. We're able to get this working with the SVG around here. So that's D0. That's D10. There we go. Make this guy relative. And all right, now we kind of got this working. We'll take this off. And we'll go ahead and make this back to that negative MT 32 to bring it up. Oh, maybe we'll need a little bit more. Might need a lot more. This is a big section here. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna have to add some margin. Let's see, how much margin are we trying to add? Get a sense of that first. Good if I had a value. Yeah, so kind of double, more or less double what we have going on right now. So what is that? 64 is 128. And we'll come, I'm just going to try it and see what happens. That didn't get added, which I was worried about. I need to do a deeper dive into this. Under spacing. No, margin. I guess I needed a negative there. Let's say spacing. There we go. That could have been our problem. Yep, there we go. Nice. I had to be explicit about those negative margins. Cool. All right, so where are we at here? Let's grab this guy. Say 4. No, we're gonna need more than that. Less than that. Try that. P8. PX10, and then we'll do PY8. That looks pretty good to me. Nice. Nice. Alrighty. That, I think, oh, what happened to our negative margin? Oh, we went back. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So now we got some writing here. I think this is going to be pretty responsive. Alrighty. So I think what I want to do wonder, let me look at a large screen here and see what happens. Yeah, that margin's not ideal. It's almost like we want to put them together, put the SVG behind it, maybe use flex to keep them center aligned with each other. So let me try that. Okay, and we'll just kind of do this inline here. Let's try that. And we'll get rid of this for a second. All right, that's closer. Obviously, we've got some other issues, but we're a step closer. That's pretty perfect if you ask me. And is this going to work on my larger screens? Sure is. It's going to work on smaller screens. Pretty well. I think we're going to hide it at some point, but we'll come back to that. Now what I want to fix is what's going on here. So we take wrapper off of this. Yeah. Now that it's a flex container, it's gonna want to do that. Okay, I think that fixed it. This is like kind of close. We want a little more space, but I don't hate it. I don't know. I don't love it either. We don't really have something after 64, so let's add one. Now that we know how to do it. What's 64? 64 is 16. I believe they're increments of 8. Yeah, 72 would be 18. Where's our Tailwind config? Let's add the negative because once I have it in there, I'm going to want to use it. Nice. Nice. Look at that. Flexbox to the rescue once again. I love Flexbox. I'm a huge, huge fan. Saves my bacon all the time. And I just want to optically see this before we start adding in the rest of the stuff. Aha, so this is interesting. That's going to change things around a lot. Maybe we'll say flex end. self end, right? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let's go ahead and get that content though, because I don't think we're pulling it in. So we're going to get some blog posts. Well, also this. Alrighty. We'll call it like H3. I believe this is like the same as this guy. That we're using a lot. That might be worth pulling into another helper kind of class. Let's see here. Kind of like our header 3. Right? This is like our primary, that's our secondary, that's like our third. Let's roll with that and see what happens. And then, yeah, this is what I was worried about, because now we're running into issues with this. I feel like I've seen that before. I'm probably going to find it on accident and get super excited. That's okay. I'll be happy to have it. Alrighty, where are we at? This is header 3. Do we have any other spots? Not. I think that was similar. Anywho. Let me put in the text here. So what are we trying to say again? Here's my thoughts on code design and UX. Design and UX are kind of the same thing, but not exactly. That has a huge mark at the bottom. Is this right? Did I do all that work for nothing? I think I was looking for more. Yeah, that's about the same. Alrighty. And now we need our blog posts, which I don't think we're pulling in yet. And let's call this posts. And again, we're status equal to 1, so we know it's active. Honestly, I'm just going to copy all this. Let's put those in here. Alrighty. And where did that for each go? Probably grab this. Do a div. Won't be like this though. Won't be flex call. I don't think we have images. No, we're just doing text with it, which is nice. Keep it a little simpler. Oops, what's happening there? So we don't have to worry about that. Go to this guy. Title. Description. And we'll make like the whole thing clickable. What are we calling that? There we go. Nice. see what we're working with. Oops, there was a problem. Not defined. Maybe it's blog, I think. There we go. Nice. We're getting there. Do I have a call to action at the end of it? No. Thinking we might do that. And then we got to read more button down there. Grab our button from over here. And we'll do MX Auto here. Did that work? Thought for sure that would have worked. There we go. Alrighty. Did I have another href there? That's it. Cool. This is coming together. Let's go ahead and add margin top here. So like maybe, I'll say 4. And then for each of these guys, it's more or less what we're going for. MB2, let's say, and we'll make this like 14. Nope, that doesn't exist. Maybe we have to make this block. Getting closer. And okay, so those are not bold. Definitely helps. More spacing in between everything. Nice. What do you think? That's 6. There we go. I think this is getting us where we need to be. Not all the way. We need to readjust the spacing, but we're a lot closer than we were. That margin on the bottom doesn't matter, because we'll adjust that, and hopefully it won't be off the page that much. Okay. So now instead of justify center, items end. There we go. Justify. There we go. That's what we're going for. Where'd it go? Click on the wrong section. And hopefully that should stay pretty consistent like that. I might almost get rid of the margin here entirely. It's not really doing anything. Nice. And we've got our nice read more button. Cool. There's probably a little bit more white space here at the top. The sides, let's tweak that just a second. I like that. And we'll have to do some hover effects here. How do we do this? So there's, actually we can get rid of this div. Clean up a little. There was a lot of HTML very quickly, so we can clean it up. Now that we know what we're dealing with. And there's a way to do this here. It's like group hovering. And I forget what they called it. Group hover, yeah. Yeah, so you just can put this group hover on, you put group here, and then you can do group hover, which is really nice. Maybe we'll have a little fun with it. We'll go primary. That didn't work the way I wanted it to. Why not? I have to go to our config here. We've added colors. Just for my sake of sanity here, a little consistency. We added those. We have our group here. I don't think I implemented that incorrectly. No, group hover. That's a shame. So we'll just kind of do hovers on these. That's not what I want, though. I want the whole thing to be, I mean, we went through all that effort. No, we just added that the normal way. Wonder if we're just not doing the color right. All right, let's see. Where are, oh, maybe we didn't use the right. There we go, that's probably what's going on. Let's go back. That makes more sense. Okay. And if we undo all this stuff. Nice. Now we're talking. I guess we have to put these down here. Nice. That's what we're looking for. So that's pretty cool. That's like a nice little feature of Tailwind, I think. That way they know they can click on these. Nice. What else? What else we have to do? That's not... We put a hover effect on that. I could have sworn. Oh, maybe because it doesn't have its thing? Oh, because this is on top of it. That's funny. Alright, how are we going to fix this now? Be careful with those margins. Alrighty. So you can run into stuff like that. I think we fixed it. That would have been frustrating. We didn't find that one out. Okay, cool. So we've got writing here. Now what's next? We've got our media. We've got another one of these. Should be a little easier, hopefully. Maybe, I don't know. It's gotta be a little complicated with all this down here, and then the footer. So we're making good progress here. Let's keep rolling on this media section here, and this is coming from the database, so we're gonna have to go make a little query, another query. Looks like we're getting 4 there. Media, oh, we got 4. I like those limits. I think they're good, so that way you're just not grabbing every piece of data. You're just grabbing what's really relevant for your app. We'll go ahead and do another section here. Okay. We'll grab this one again. And we were going to change that to say community. Let's change that. Cool. And how much space did that have? Fair amount. How do we put the wrapper on this? Seems like almost the page gets smaller. No, that's about right. Interesting. Anywho, and these are very similar to what we have up here. They're just a different grid. So I'm going to grab those and we can change it up. Grid to even, that's kind of all we're doing. Keep doing that. The singular of media is medium, which doesn't feel good, but and this is not what we want. We want the outside link, which I forget what we called it inside of our model here. Link. That makes sense. Not what I wanted. This is saying watch stream. Let's say see more. I don't think they're all going to be streams per se. Oops, there was an error. What is that problem? Let's go to our controller. We got a title, we got a header image, we got a description. I guess we have slugs, even though we don't need them. And we've got links. What's going on here? We're passing that in. Right, we pass media in. Let's see if I can get rid of these. I got to get rid of that too. Unknown error. Oh, Twitter is giving me an error? Weird. So I have my tweets on the page. In fact, they're on every page. Where did I put that guy? You got a view composer? Interesting. That's not working, that's not good. Got some issues with my Twitter feed, but that could be temporary, so I'll come back to that. Alrighty, that looks pretty good already. Pretty darn good. Let's see here. Can I use the same margin 10, I believe? Nice. That's pretty good. Got our community contributions. Some of that text is kind of small on mobile. Make sure that the max width is working there. Looks like it is. I might make this a slightly smaller max width. I don't know, it just feels right. Yeah, it feels better. Sometimes like you'll adjust these things on the fly. That's the nice thing about utilities, is that you can chain them. That looks better to me. So let's roll with that. Nice. Those are nice and aligned. Cool. We got this dog. Dog everywhere. I like that dog. Oh, is my internet out? Ah, that is what happened. My internet went out. Let's see if the stream comes back. L-1. Yep, here as well. Oh boy. Well, it looks like we've had some technical difficulties here, so I'm going to wrap it up here and we made some really good progress today. So give it a little pause. Thank you all for following along, and we will see you next time.